Yesterday, the quarterfinals began with thunder. Akinloluwa edging past Esther in a contest of shared conviction and differing projections and articulation, booking the very first ticket to the semi-finals. Today, the road narrows even further as 3 more battles will decide who joins him in the final 4. From the fiery question of lawmakers' pay to the global dilemma of foreign aid, and finally, the emotional weight of whether Nigeria should erase or preserve the memory of the Civil War, today's debates promise passion, intellect, and history colliding on one stage. By sundown, the quarterfinals will be complete. 4 voices will remain. 2 semi-finals will be set. And the countdown to the grand finale will truly begin. Nigeria. The storm is far from over. The quarterfinals rage on, and today, the tide rises even higher. The echoes of yesterday's clashes still thunder, yet the battleground calls again.
This is day 8. 6 contenders step into the current, but only 3 will swim to safety. The other 3 will be swept away. The margin for error is 0. The price of hesitation is elimination.
Every statement today will be sharpened steel. Every counter, a crashing wave. In this arena, victory belongs not to the loudest, but to the sharpest. Those who wield their wit like lightning.
The quarterfinals are not for the faint heart. They are the forge where champions are tested, where brilliance either blazes or breaks. Today, the stakes climb higher, the currents pull harder, and the crown glimmers just a little closer.
But before the next battles ignite, let us honor the guardians of fairness and prowess. Our judges, Dr. Chiking Badiche, Head Department of Mass Communication and Strategic Communication Programs at the School of Media and Communication, Pan Atlantic University. He's our Chief Judge. He's flanked by Sir Dr. Ikechi Wogu, an education consultant who has served as I Beg to Differ Students Debate Chief Judge in the Port Harcourt zone. Also, from Abuja, brilliant judge and voice of conscience, Judge Majid Dahiru. Also joining this stellar cast of a panel, Ufoma Egbamuno, News Manager, Nigeria Info, Kids FM, Cool FM, Wazobia FM. Finally, George Yvonne Haifo, broadcast journalist and newscaster on Nigeria Info and Kids FM, program presenter, all-round quality broadcaster, and our Diction coach and judge. Welcome, Yvonne.
And of course, our partners, Obi Wizzy, Massey Children's Hospital, Diamonds and Pearls Travel Limited, Ejanla Foods, and Chrisland Schools. We want to thank you. Their torch keeps this tournament blazing bright.
4 voices, 2 duels, 1 destiny.
The waters are fierce. The crown is watching. Only brilliance survives.
This, Maryann, is I Beg to Differ, the Tournament of Champions. Quarterfinals, day 2.
Yes.
So, we step into the heated corridors of power now. Are Nigeria's lawmakers true servants of the people? or princes of privilege enjoying pay far beyond their labor? The quarterfinal battle will ignite this particular one, the first of 3 tonight, the second in the series of quarters. Yes, certainly, it will ignite questions of accountability, sacrifice, and justice. And only one debater will emerge with arguments sharp enough to cut through the fog of politics. That is next. By 4 p.m. today, the spotlight shifts from Abuja to the global stage. Foreign aid, lifeline or leash? Is it a helping hand that lifts nations upward, or a chain that keeps them dependent and weak? Today, 2 voices will wrestle with the hard truths of development, sovereignty, and survival. And one of them will claim a place in the semi-finals. And then at 5 p.m., the debates reach their most emotional frontier. The Nigerian Civil War, a scar still etched in history. Should we forget to heal or remember to learn? This quarterfinal will demand not just intellect, but depth of heart and courage of conviction as our debaters navigate the thin line between memory and progress. 3 colossal battles in one day. By the time the sun sets today, the quarterfinals will be over and the final 4 will stand revealed. You cannot afford to miss a single word. So let's get to it.
All right. Well, these contestants already know what side they will be debating from. And of course, most importantly, let's find out what the motion is.
Most certainly. Let's start by reintroducing them to you, because you already know them. But this is where the boys and the girls have been separated from the men and the women. So let's meet first the boy to man. He's 15 years of age, an SS3 student of Government Day Secondary School, Karu, Abuja. He comes into the national finals as champion of the Abuja Regional Championships. Nigeria, please say welcome to Majesty Joseph Ojochegbe. Welcome, Majesty.
Thank you very much, sir.
It's good to have you. How are you feeling today? Brilliant. I'm happy to hear that. This debate was supposed to be for yesterday. It's been moved to today because Majesty was a bit under the weather. Welcome, Majesty.
Thank you, sir.
Let's meet his opponent. She's equally 15. A student of Government Science Secondary School, Pyakasa-Maitama, Abuja. These two know each other well. This is a battle between the champion of Abuja and his runner-up in Abuja. It was the final in Abuja. It's a quarterfinal here, regrettably. Let's meet Abu Francis Helen Ebo. How are you doing, Helen?
Very much fine.
Are you daring to go?
Very.
No doubt. Special thanks to their chaperones, Mrs. Sarah Joseph is Majesty's mom. Thank you very much, Ma. Please wave at the camera so our audience can see you. Also, Mr. Elijah is accompanied by Miss Idongesit as co-chaperones for Helen. Thank you very much for all that you do. Special thanks to our sponsors, Obi Weezy, our gadget plug, Diamonds and Pearls, our travel plug, Ejanla Foods, our nutrition and meal plug, Chrisland Schools, our host institution, Massey Children's Hospital, our health plug, Thank you for taking care of these kids when the need arises. And also the Lekki Conservation Grounds, who have given these kids a treat. What's the motion?
All right. Nigeria's lawmakers are overpaid for the work they do. Are they?
What a motion. Who is supporting the motion?
I support it.
Helen is. And Majesty.
I'll be opposing the motion.
So, Nigeria, this quarterfinals roar back to life this afternoon. This is a debate that cuts straight to the heart of Nigeria's democracy. The pay of lawmakers. Are they serving the people or serving themselves? On the motion in support, Helen is likely to argue that lawmakers' earnings are grossly inflated when measured against the average Nigerian income. The country's poverty levels and the limited output the National Assembly delivers. She may press the ease that oversized allowances have turned public service into a business, or more like the case of the easy way in which oversized allowances have turned public service into a business, fueling corruption and deepening distrust in governance. Opposing the motion today, Majesty. He will seek to turn the tables. He may contend that the problem lies not in pay, but in accountability. That reducing lawmakers' income won't solve inefficiency and might even deter capable people from entering politics. Who knows? He may argue that what Nigeria needs is reform of expectations and performance, not a fixation on salaries. We'll find out. It's a debate of perception versus principle, anger versus justification. And only one will earn passage to the semi-finals. No second chances. Helen, Majesty, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Motion supporter, you will start.
All right, Helen. You have 4 minutes and your time starts now.
Fellow Nigerians, let me start with a simple reality. A civil servant goes to work 30 days in a month, struggles with transport, pays rent, and survives on a minimum wage of 30,000 naira, which was only recently increased to 70,000 naira. Yet, as exposed by Senator Shehu Sani, a senator in Nigeria goes home and collects over 13.5 million naira as running costs every single month. Over 190 times that minimum wage. For crying out loud, isn't that the pay of an entire village packed into one man's pocket? All protocols duly observed. I'm Helen from Government Science Secondary School Maitama in Abuja, and I stand before you to propose the motion which states Nigeria's lawmakers are overpaid for the work they do. And with the following point, I begin my argument. To begin with, let's just talk about the outrageous allowances given to these lawmakers. The Punch has reported that Nigeria's lawmakers, while a senator's basic salary annually is over 2 million naira, they receive, because of the allowances pushed to about 72 million naira. The House members also receive about 59 million naira annually in yearly allowances. The Nigerian Tribune has also reported in 2024 that Nigerian senators and the National Assembly allocated a record 244.85 billion naira, the highest in over 2 decades, for the yearly payment of lawmakers. Moreover, according to The Guardian, former President Olusegun has accused the Nigeria's lawmakers of fixing their own salaries and actually accused the Nigerian lawmakers of fixing their own salaries and collecting what they were not entitled to. Nigerians only discovered the whole 13.5 million naira salary. Nigerians only discovered the 13.5 million naira salary when Senator Shehu Sani confessed, prove that the pay is only hidden because it is excessive and indefensible. Furthermore, the Daily Trust reports. The Daily Trust reports that a Nigerian senator earns over 116 times the GDP per capita as compared to the 2.7 times of UK senators. In a country where millions struggle to afford food to eat, this is what makes Nigeria senators among the most overpaid lawmakers in the whole world. Most importantly, high pays but low legislative outputs. According to the Daily Post, the 7th Assembly only passed over 108 out of 1,098 bills, with each bill costing about 5.7 billion naira. Billions wasted, but almost nothing delivered. Proof and the clearest evidence that Nigerian lawmakers are overpaid for the little work they do. At the same time, poor attendance and weak oversight. According to the Daily Times, Nigerian Senate sittings only have about 70 out of 316 members and 40 out of 109 members. The oversight hearings are mainly seen as media dramas with no proper follow-ups. And yet, these lawmakers go home with full payment for part-time work. Furthermore, in the same vein, Nigerian lawmakers earn millions while civil servants earn pennies. Civil servants can only climb grade levels through qualifications and years of service. Yet, according to the cable, a professor with a PhD only earns about 316,000 every single month. Yet, a senator with only a secondary school certificate, as demanded by the Constitution, earns about millions monthly. And in the same vein, according to the Premium Times, constituency funds allocated to the Senate members is about 200 million naira monthly, and to the House members, it's about 400 million naira. Where does this money go to? No one truly knows. More so, the ICPC and the Budget IT have reported a systemic work pay mismatch, as the senator's salary does not actually even confirm, or it completely ignores performance on a general level, as a secondary school certificate holder takes home much more pay than professors, doctors, and even lifelong civil servants. And lastly, according to Premium Times of January 2024, the 2024 budget concluded that the National Assembly collected over $228 billion. Proof that Nigerian senators are overpaid for the little work they do.
Thank you very much, Helen.
Brilliant opening, no doubt. Brilliant opening from Government Day Secondary School, Karu, Abuja. Two powerful voices. The Abuja Regional finalists going head to head in this quarter-final battle. Oh, pardon me, I mix it. Helen is from Government Science Secondary School, Pyakasa-Maitama, Abuja. It's her opponent, Majesty, who's from Government Day Secondary School, Karu. We'll now go to him.
All right. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Your 4 minutes starts now.
Imagine a nation where policies only exist on paper, where crises erupt unchecked, and where the voice of the people vanish into silence. Well, that Nigeria is real, and it is waiting behind these walls if we fail to value the very people we call overpaid. Today, I will show us that our lawmakers are not overpaid. Rather, they are the heartbeat of a fragile democracy. Good afternoon, the moderator, panel of judges, a great timekeeper, my co-debater, and the audience. My name is Joseph Majesty, Ojochegbe from Government Day Secondary School, Karu, and I stand firm to oppose the motion that Nigeria's lawmakers are overpaid for the work they do. First of all, let us understand the scope of lawmaking. Lawmaking is not just about sitting down doing nothing. It is the art of shaping a nation's destiny, drafting bills, amending constitutions, interrogating policies, and balancing the cries of over 200 million Nigerians. A single senator can be the voice of over 2.5 million people, more than the population of a country like Botswana. And thus, managing that type of responsibility demands resources and time. So the pay given to us lawmakers is fuel for governance and not luxury. Furthermore, people say our lawmakers are overpaid. But please, the truth is far outstretched from money for pockets. According to the National Assembly Budget and Research Office 2023, 60% of constituency allowances are used directly for community projects. The market women in Aba depend on their representatives to build solar lamps and shops because their executives have failed them. And cutting the pay of our lawmakers is also cutting the livelihoods of the millions of people that depend on them. In addition, lawmaking is not a desk job. They move around like anyone, and they are prone to security threats from political rivals, insurgents, kidnappers. And thus, the money they are giving is highly allocated to security and logistics. In 2022, when late Senator Ifeanyi Uba's convoy was attacked, 4 people were killed. If we think that lawmaking is just about sitting in air-conditioned plenary halls, then we are ignoring the hazard that they are enduring to ensure that our voices are heard. Critics argue that they are overpaid. But please, let's talk about their performance. In the first year of the 10th National Assembly, a remarkable 475 bills were introduced. Out of them, 19 were successfully passed into law. This report from Other Paper Nigeria underscores the dedication of our lawmakers to fulfilling their legislative duties. Moreover, behind every law, there are constituency visits, investigations, expert consultations, amidst many more. Take the Petroleum Industry Act of 2021 or the Electoral Act Amendment. These bills attracted hot debate, but after they were amended and reformed, finally passed, They brought about billions in revenue for our country and reformed our voting process. Let's think about it. If we consider their performance, we find out that yes, indeed, they are not truly overpaid. What they are giving is compensation for a work well done. In the same vein, accountability is growing, not shrinking. Movements like openness is ensuring better transparency and accountability in legislative expenditure. Yes, citizens can now track down constituency projects. If our lawmakers are truly a cabal of unchecked looters, would they really open themselves to such scrutiny? The answer is no. Lastly, let us compare their pay. A senator in Nigeria receives over ₦1 million salary, not the 13.5 million naira being thrown around. But compare that to a UK MP who receives 75 million and the US congressman who receives 133 million at current exchange rate. When we balance the size of our respective economies and population to it, we find out that Nigeria's per capita legislative expenditure is modest, thus proving that our lawmakers are not overpaid. In conclusion, let us not confuse perception with reality. Our lawmakers are not overpaid, rather they are the heartbeat of a beating democracy. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant opening from both. You just heard Majesty Joseph, 15-year-old SS3 student of Government Day Secondary School, Karu. And before him, 15-year-old graduate, recent graduate of Government Science Secondary School, Pyakasa-Maitama, Abuja, Helen Abu. Now, when we come back, it will be time for these two brilliant minds to refute each other's arguments. As a reminder, you may be able to add additional comments after you've refuted all your opponent's points. Okay? If you leave any points unrefuted and you add additional comments of your own, they will not count.
And most importantly, we're live facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on YouTube. You could join the conversation on X, Nigeria Info 99.3. Don't forget that you can also listen to us on all our Nigeria Info FM stations across the country in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt. Same for our sister station Kids FM, Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Abuja. The polls are up. Vote on Facebook and YouTube, and of course on X. Who you think will be the better debater today?
If you are hungry for Nigerian flavor, step into Janla Foods, where every bite tastes like home. From fresh sizzling seafood to hearty soup, from smoky jollof rice to mouth-watering swallow and sides, we serve it fresh, we serve it local, and we serve it delicious. We are cooking for you every day at number 45B Suez Crescent, Abacha Estate, Wuse Zone 4 in Abuja, and at number 37 Body Thomas Street, opposite Access Bank in Lagos, and of course at number 40 Fola Oshibo Road, Lekki Phase 1. Follow the taste on Instagram at ejanla.ng. That is at ejanla.ng. Ejanla Foods, your taste buds will thank you.
Welcome back. This is the second quarterfinal contest of this national finals of I Beg to Differ Students Debate. The winner of this contest has Akinloluwa Olajolo waiting for them. It pits Majesty Joseph Ojochegbe, 15-year-old SS3 student of Government Day Secondary School, Karu, against Helen Abu Francis Ebo, 15 years of age, recent graduate of Government Science Secondary School, Pyakasa-Maitama, Abuja. Nigeria's lawmakers, are they overpaid for the work they do? That's the bone of contention.
Yes, of course, and we're going to watch these ones slug it out. All right, it's time for us to move places. So we're going to start this time with Majesty as we take their rebuttals. Majesty, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Your 4 minutes starts now.
All protocols duly observed, I would like to rebut my opponent's point, reinforcing my stance of opposing the motion that Nigeria's lawmakers are overpaid for the work they do. First of all, my co-debater stated that our lawmakers earn more than UK members of parliament. But please, that's like comparing apples to oranges. You painted a very dramatic picture, but let's dive in with facts. The average Nigerian senator or House of Rep members does not just do the work of a legislator. He also serves as a local government chairman, a philanthropist, and sometimes even emergency responders. Our lawmakers are the voice of millions of people in their constituencies, and the members of their constituencies depend on them for their livelihoods. As I said in my presentation round, the market women in Aba depend on their representatives to build stalls, install solar lamps because the executives have failed them. So definitely most of their funds is allocated to constituency allowance, security, logistics, and lots more, not necessarily comparing them to UK or US members of parliament. You also stated that they are one of the highest paid in the world. But that's overstretching things. It's like garbaging the allowances for the constituencies and different roles as pay for our senators. That can be convincing, but it's deceptive because it's not the actual truth. You also said that it's just like packing the pay of one entire village into one man's pocket. Please, it's exactly what we are doing. That pay is not just for the senator. It's for his constituency. He's the voice of millions of people. And thus, yes, he's giving allowances not just for himself, but to meet the demands of the people under him. He also stated that there's poor attendance and weak oversight in our legislature. But my co-debater, the real work happens far beyond the television than what we see. Our lawmakers have constituency visits, committee sessions, expert consultations each time. Not necessarily having plenary hall meetings all the time. And the real work happens far beyond the cameras. Not that we can't see them does not mean that we should undermine the work they are doing. They are legislating, and that is their work. He also stated that minimum wage is low. Nigerians are suffering while lawmakers are in luxury. But please, if Nigerians are suffering or their minimum wage output is low, please let us stop pointing fingers at the wrong places. The work of the legislature is to legislate. Then let us blame the executive. If they are not doing their work, why should we blame the legislators? The legislators are the voice of the people. And yes, the executive hold over 90% of Nigeria's spending power. So if they are failing healthcare facilities, dropping education systems, we should point hands at the executive. You also stated that our lawmakers now fix their own salaries. But please, that is contradicting because the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission by law sets the pay of our lawmakers to ensure that there's modesty, accountability in legislative expenditure. You also said that there's low legislative output. But I'll have you know that in the first year of the 10th National Assembly, a remarkable 475 bills were introduced. Out of them, 15 were passed. If we say they have low legislative output, please, my co-debater, can you explain the efficiency of the Petroleum Industrial Act or the Electoral Act amendment that reformed our voting process, ensuring that we now use beavers to ensure accountability and transparency in our elections, stretching the fact that our lawmakers are inefficient or they have low legislative output is wrong because the statistics show otherwise. If we have problem with our legislators, let us please demand accountability, transparency, and not blame them. Reducing their pay will not ensure that the roads are fixed in Borno State or the homeless child will have a roof over his head the following day. Cutting costs at different corners. Thank you.
All right. Always remember to land. Round of applause. Always remember to land. Well done. Well done. That's Majesty Joseph Ojochegbe from Government Day Secondary School, Karu. He's done with his rebuttal round. Maryann?
All right, Helen, it's now your turn. Your 4 minutes starts now.
Signing on all existing protocols, I'd like to run my opponent's point. First of all, my opponents mentioned that the RMAFC sets the pay. Well, I'm afraid you have your facts wrong. Because the RMAFC, on their own website, on their own facts, have clearly stated that they only set the frameworks. They set how the pay is supposed to be distributed. And now, they actually have no constitutional rights or power to enforce compliance with this. So what they simply do is that they set the frameworks. This money is allocated to this. This money allocated to this. But the National Assembly has the constitutional right to increase the money, and that is what they are doing. In 2010, it was recorded that the National Assembly single-handedly and together, they raised their running costs, showing us clearly that they are overpaid for the work they do because they fixed their own salaries, which is very wrong and needs to be addressed. My opponent also mentioned he shot himself in the leg when he said that out of 475 bills, only 19 were passed. How can we call that progress when that is less than 10%? We expect much more. You come here and preach about performance. But out of 475 bills, only 19. The National Assembly, according to ICPC, has only released about 60% of their constituency projects are abandoned, poorly executed, or inflated. If the lawmakers were truly using their money for the people, why exactly does UNESCO still report that over 20 million children are out of school? You also mentioned that people around them depend on them for their livelihoods. But to be honest, that does not relate to our topic, because your pay is your pay. What you choose to do with it is your personal business. It is not their legal job to survive, to pay these people. It is their job to provide schools and hospitals, not to give them money for their children. You also mentioned that lawmaking, drafting bills, and helping over 200 million Nigerians demands resources. Yes, but that pay is too much compared to the average person in Nigeria today who does over 40 times the work they do. How many times do Nigerian lawmakers actually even go to office today? They only attend work for over 190 days in a year, while the average person goes to work over 216 days in a year, working over 40 times that rate. And how much do they get? 30,000 naira. You also mentioned that the amendment of laws. But I ask you this question: how many laws have actually been amended and actually affected your personal life? You said a senator receives only 1 million naira as salary. That I am giving a bogus quote. But I'm very sorry, you seem to misunderstand me. That is merely just confusing all of us. Their salary is about 1 million naira. But the allowances, security, the pointless and useless allowances that they keep adding for themselves and keep topping every single time is what makes their pay outrageous. You also mentioned that, yes, citizens can now track constituency funds. How? When, according to Serap and Budge, they have reported that senators divert constituency funds for personal use on a daily basis. These senators skip sittings, sleep in chambers, and still go home with millions of naira. How is that equal? How is that just? These lawmakers are overpaid for the work they do. Because if they were not, Nigeria would not have the lowest governance efficiency, according to the World Bank Governance Indicator of 2022. My dear opponent, I'm very sorry, as I've exhausted all your points. And so, I leave you with this quote. Have you ever wondered why Nigerian doctors travel abroad? They jackpot, but you never hear any politician jackpotting. They literally even come back in order to get their wealth. The Yoruba say, "Ise kekere owo nla." Small work, big money. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, you can say that again. Okie dokie. So say them together.
Okie dokie.
Yeah. Shot fired,
Femi.
shot fired. Interesting rebuttal round
More
for
work,
both
big
of
pay.
these. Fantastic. I can't wait for the closing salvos to start ringing in our ears. You just heard Helen Abu Francis Ebo, 15-year-old recent graduate of Government Science Secondary School, Pyakasa-Maitama, Abuja. Before her, you heard Majesty Joseph Ojochegbe in his rebuttal round. He's 15, he's in SS3 at Government Day Secondary School, Karu. These are this season's numbers 1 and 2 in Abuja. This is worthy of a final anywhere.
Absolutely.
Though it be a quarterfinal.
Now, if you're watching us live on our social media, send it to your senator and your House of Reps. Send it to your House of Assembly member. And all those people who represent you, they need to watch these kids.
All right. We'll return for the closing arguments in a moment. Stay with us.
Obiwizi, Nigeria's trusted name in affordable tech and gadget tradings. From Lagos to Abuja, from students to CEOs, Obiwizi is your guy for quality tech devices, brand new and pre-owned, UK used. Got a phone or laptop? Bring it in and walk out with an upgrade, a cashback, or both. Whether you shop in-store or online at obiwizi.com. That is obiwizi.com. You are guaranteed value, warranty, and a customer-first experience. Obiwizi offers affordable tech, trusted service. Because with gadgets, Obiwizi is your guy. Follow on socials, on Instagram at Obiwizi Backup Page, on TikTok at Obiwizi. Happy shopping!
In just 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, we're back already and raring to go. This is I Beg to Differ student debate, the national finals. Quarterfinal number 2 between Majesty Joseph and Helen Abu Francis.
Yes, and we've seen the first 2 debates. It is so hot. It's sizzling. It's like chicken stew. Makes me hungry. But it's time for them to go into the... I just like good food.
Okay. And I like you.
And I'm good food.
Oh, wow.
Let's move on.
Let's go to the closing stages of this, the closing arguments between children in the studio. Motion supporter will revert to you.
All right. You both know you have 3 minutes each. All right, Helen, your 3 minutes starts now.
Distinguished judges, esteemed audience, and my thoughtful listeners, tell me, is this reality not an injustice? That a teacher stands in front of a classroom, chalk in hand, molding the minds of over 120 children, yet a salary cannot even buy her a bag of rice. A civil servant who keeps the economy running, generates revenue daily, remains underpaid, and even goes unpaid in many states for months. Yet, a state or a federal lawmaker who is supposed to be a public servant skips sittings, takes long recesses, and still drives home in convoys of jeep paid for by our own taxes. Who then is truly serving Nigeria? Who is truly overpaid? Majesty, you may sell your emotional appeal very well, but with this topic, no one, not even your emotions, will stand by your side. Because this is not just a debate. It's about life and survival. Yours, mine, and every Nigerian. Because Nigeria today is facing crumbling hospitals, underfunded universities, and millions of youth unemployed. And yet these lawmakers have turned the National Assembly into a palace of undeserved rewards. They sit on plush chairs while we, the people, sit on empty stomachs. They enjoy luxury SUVs and go on fully funded trips. All at the expense of what? At the expense of you and I, the taxpayers. Is that not an insult to the suffering majority? Let us remember that these lawmakers are not rulers. They are representatives. And the word representatives means that they should reflect the condition of the people. But what do we see instead? Instead, they reflect the opposite of our reality. They call themselves public servants, but their pay packages rival global CEOs. And if these CEOs must still deliver profit to survive, why exactly do our lawmakers deliver almost nothing and still collect everything? That is the clearest evidence that Nigeria's lawmakers are overpaid for the little work they do. To the heart of the matter, this gap is so wide that it even shouts louder than statistics. For every one naira a civil servant earns, a lawmaker pockets hundreds more. For every bill passed, hundreds of billions of naira are drained. Judges, audience, and even my opponent. If these lawmakers truly deserve their pay, why are schools failing? Why are hospitals collapsing? Why are millions of our youth unemployed? No! That pay is not a reward for their service. It is a price for privilege. Let us say it as it is. Nigerian lawmakers are not only overpaid, they are grossly overpaid for a work they do not do. And beyond that, our conscience for the nation demands that we say it as it is. And so, here is my voice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just in time. Just in time. Brilliant closing. Helen Abu Francis of Government Science Secondary School, Pyakasa-Maitama, Abuja. It is indeed a tournament of champions. What a champion. Over now to yet another champion, the Abuja champion, Majesty Joseph Ojochegbe, for his closing round.
Majesty, your 3 minutes starts now.
Gunshots fill the streets. Screams from hungry homes and market women crying because of empty stalls. Lawmakers who are supposed to make law now break them and cut corners to survive. That Nigeria might be a reality only if we say we underpay our lawmakers. Honorable judges, esteemed audience, and citizens of this nation, let me ask us a question. Can we measure the weight of this nation on the shoulders of a few? Can we calculate in naira the courage it takes to sit in a chamber where every law might ignite anger, unrest, or even bullets? In 2012, Senator Datong attended the burial of victims of violence in Plateau State, and he never returned. His life was traded for democracy, and the very people his presence demanded from him. Critics argue that our lawmakers are overpaid. Please, they are not overpaid. Who else will risk life and limb in a chamber that they receive salary just less than 2% of the national budget? Yet these men and women work tirelessly. They often fund schools, hospitals, and youth programs from their own pockets, filling gaps left by failing ministries. They shout they are overpaid, but I ask, overpaid for what? Sitting in a chair? The real work happens far beyond the television screen. Laws are debated for years. Elections are reformed. Constituency projects are executed to lift the helpless, and in extreme cases, lives are lost, all in silence. Democracy costs much, yes, but the cost of losing it is paid in blood, chaos, and years of stagnation. I have explained today that lawmakers represent millions of people. They do not set their pay. Their pay is set by law. Their allowances are not for luxuries. Rather, they are to meet the crushing expectations of their constituencies. And their budgets, just 2% of the national budget, like a drop in the Atlantic. The opposition cries corruption, pardon, but please, let us not mistake the disease with the thermometer. If we cut their pays, will the child in Zamfara go to school tomorrow? If we underpay them, will Boko Haram suddenly drop down their arms? And if we cut their salaries, will unemployment vanish? No! Then let us pay them fairly. Let us reward their independence, dignity, and strengthen our democracy. The choice is clear. Let us make our choice. This debate is not about protecting the pockets of our politicians. It's about protecting the independence of our legislature, the quality of our democracy, and the strength of our institutions. A starving legislature is bad for the people, and a danger to the people weakens democracy. As we come to a close in this pivotal debate, let me remind us that history will forget those who cried about salaries, but it will remember those who stood, those who legislated, and even those who died, so that Nigeria's democracy can survive. Nigeria's lawmakers are not overpaid, and until we realize this, we can never truly understand this fragile democracy we inherited and hope to pass on. I rest my case.
Thank you.
What a spirited battle we've just witnessed. You just heard Majesty Joseph Ojochegbe. He's 15. He's in SS3 at Government Day Secondary School, Karu, Abuja. And before him, you heard Helen Abu Francis, Land, also 15, recent graduate of Government Science Secondary School, Pyakasa-Maitama, Abuja. Helen, standing in support of the motion, drove her case with force, arguing that lawmakers' earnings are a betrayal of public trust, bloated and unjust in a nation where poverty remains widespread. Across from her, Majesty stood firm in opposition, insisting that the true problem is not the size of the pay, but the absence of accountability, and that slashing salaries would not cure deeper dysfunctions in governance. Two visions of leadership, one debate of principle. But here, in the quarterfinals, only one voice can prevail. The judges now carry the burden of deciding whose arguments rang truer and whose journey must end today. It's heartbreaking, but such is our reality. Before we go into the judges' scorecards, if Diction coach Yvonne Haifo is ready,
yes, I am. Thank you, Femi. Well done, Helen and Majesty. Wonderful work. I'll start with Helen. You say senator. Okay, Senate and senator, not Senate. Senate, senator. You also say you shoot in the foot. That is the idiom. When you shoot in the leg, it is literal. You literally shoot somebody in the leg. So the idiom is to shoot in the foot, okay? Not shoot in the leg. You say yours, mine, and every Nigerian's. Okay, not yours, mine, and every Nigerian, because it is the possessive case, the genitive case. So you say yours, mine, and every Nigerian's. Okay? At the expense of you and me, not at the expense of you and I. Because you wouldn't say at the expense of I, you would say at the expense of me. It is also a prepositional phrase, so you say at the expense of me. After a preposition, you use the objective case of the pronoun. As opposed to I, you say me. So you say at the expense of me, not at the expense of I. Therefore, you should have said at the expense of you and me. And to you, Majesty, I will say national, not national. National, okay? You say national. For a job well done, not for a work well done. Work is uncountable, except you're referring to artistic works. So, generally, work is an uncountable noun. But if you're talking about artists and the work they do, you can say the works of Shakespeare, you can say the works of Chinua Achebe, and so on. So you use works artistically. We're referring to the arts, okay? But generically, you say work. But for this expression, it is for a job well done, not for a work well done. You also point fingers at, not hands at. If I point my hands at you, this is what I'm doing. But you point fingers at, you don't point hands at. That is the expression. Okay? You say close. As I bring my debate to a close. Close is the verb. Close the door. But as an adjective or as a noun, you say close. Come closer, not come closer. Come closer. Okay? So as a noun or an adjective, you say close. As a verb, you say close. I will. Oh, by the way, you say represent, not represent. Represent, okay? Represent, and you say risk, not risks. Risk. Good, not risks. Well done, both of you. Over to you, lady and gentleman.
If you're representing, you are presenting again.
Yes.
It's different.
That's it.
Did you also deal with the those? THUS is those,
not
okay?
thus,
because you not thus.
He kept saying
coming,
thus.
okay?
Yes.
Those, okay?
Right.
And it's constitutional or constitutional. The S was missing every time. Okay, brilliant. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, the results.
Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
Waiting, I use them fry my chicken. If you listen when it says the sound of joy taste you've been missing. Eat a hammer from my city. Now cook food where sweets like this. It's mama do, your meal is it. It's mama do. Oh no, you dey eat. It's mama do, mama do. Yes, mama do. It's mama do, your meal is it. It's mama do. Oh no, you dey eat. It's mama do, mama do. Yeah, cook food where sweets like this. It's mama do, your meal.
It tastes great. It's Mamador. Mamador oil is available in stores near you and also comes in pocket-friendly sizes. Use Mamador oil today.
At Chrisland's News, here are some of our recent achievements in sports. Chrisland lifted the icing on the 17 soccer trophies in 2023 and 2024 consecutively. Chrisland female soccer team also won the icing on the 14 and under 12 soccer competition in 2024. Chrisland football team defeated other schools to lift the Soccer Fiesta trophy 4 times.
You'll find Chrisland School in Katampe, Abuja at number 5 Samuel Oladile Crescent by Gishiri bus stop opposite Nikon Junction, Katampe District, FCT, Abuja. That's the number to call, 002-319-9882 or 003-648-5770 or 0703-135-5323.
As we return, we go straight into the judges' scorecard. I must warn you, this was a very tight race. Very tight race. Listen to the score sheet. Presentation round. From Judge Ikechi. Helen, let me reverse it like this. Majesty 10, Helen 9.5. From Judge Majid. Majesty 10, Helen 9.5. From Judge Ufoma, Majesty 10, Helen 8.5. And from Chief Judge Chike, Majesty 10, Helen 8.5. It is Majesty 40, Helen 36. A 4-point gap at this point. We go into the rebuttal rounds. From Judge Ikechi, it's Helen 10, Majesty 9.5. From Judge Majid, it's Helen 10, Majesty 9.5. From Judge Ufoma, it's Helen 10, Majesty 9. From Chief Judge Chike, it's Helen 10, Majesty 9. 40 to 37 for Helen, bringing the total at this point to 66 for Helen and 67 for Majesty. Majesty leads by 1 as we go into the final round. For the final round, Judge Ikechi has it as a tie, 10-10. Judge Majid has it as a tie, 10-10. Judge Ufoma has it as a tie, 10-10. Chief Judge Chike has it as a tie, 10-10. 40-40. At this point, it is 117 for Majesty, 116 for Helen. Diction Diction coach Yvonne scores it for your winner. By a close call. But by unanimous decision, 1 point swing. Congratulations Majesty, Joseph Ojochegbe of Government Day Secondary School, Karu. Well done. Well done, Majesty. Well done. So Majesty seizes the day with poise and persuasion, standing firm in defense of his case. His reward? A titanic semi-final showdown against Akinlolua. And though her journey ends here, Helen leaves the tournament with her head high, remembered for her fearless arguments and her passion for justice. I beg to differ. We'll never forget you, Helen. Well done, darling. Well done. Majesty, see you in the semi-final. There are no words. We'll take a break. When we come back, it will be time for the second quarterfinal battle of the evening.
Obiwizi, Nigeria's trusted name in affordable tech and gadget tradings. From Lagos to Abuja, from students to CEOs, Obiwizi is your guy for quality tech devices, brand new and pre-owned, UK used. Got a phone or laptop? Bring it in and walk out with an upgrade, a cashback, or both. Whether you shop in-store or online at obiwizi.com. That is obiwizi.com. You are guaranteed value, warranty, and a customer first.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info.